What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We express them with our full capabilities until they want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child, I am the dad half of this operation, kind of subdued because it's the holiday season and I'm kind of tired. But we ain't want to go another day, another moment, another minute without getting back to the people. The dad half of this operation, as always. I'm rocking with the best. My back to normal health co-host. Introduce yourself to the folk.
More free success than I am failure. Yeah, as I apologize, everybody. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. I had not the devastator or the 19, but I had the regular flu. That freaking sucked. But I'm back almost 100%. And even if I wasn't, I was still going to do something today because it's been too long. And I miss you guys, all two of you. Nah,
You
I'm
wilding,
playing.
man. Stop
Nah,
that.
nah, I'm playing. You know, I miss making jokes and being sarcastic with y'all. So if you're watching on all the other platforms and all that stuff, share with your friends, family, pets, enemies, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff and that cringy stuff that I gotta ask you for. And yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first and foremost, I am happy you were healthy. Um, obviously we are father and son, and my first concern is always your well-being, your health, so on and so forth. I am happy you are back to normal. I gotta admit, I didn't know if I was relieved or more freaked out when you tested negative COVID, because I'm like, all right, at least it's COVID, we know what it is. And that's an interesting space that we're in history. I think that this thing is so taken over, we almost freak out when you have certain symptoms and you don't have COVID. It's wild because people been saying, excuse me, saying for the longest, um, what happened to the regular flu? Well, I guess you kind of by default found out, unfortunately. But like I said, most importantly, I'm glad you are back to being 100%. To that end, I will extend and say this because I don't know. I was having a conversation with one of our listeners, and apparently it's not always clear where we stand on this. And I'm going to speak for myself and say, look, whether you decide yay or nay to the vaccine, the problem I personally have when we whittle away everything is the forcing of it. I shouldn't be made to do something I don't necessarily. I shouldn't be made to put something in my body if I don't want to. Um, if you choose to, that's awesome. And I'm also not a fan of extremes. We've said that too. I'm not sitting here as someone who's chosen at the moment to not be vaccinated, calling people sheep and so on and so forth. I'm not going off what I consider to be the deep end and saying this is population control and it's nanotech and we're going to be mindless zombies. I'm not doing all that. I'm simply saying, based on a couple of very key factors to myself, and I'm not going to go into it because, it'll nullify everything I just said because people are going to focus on, well, you're not going to, not going to do it. I'm simply saying for certain factors that I won't delve deep into, I'm chilling for a hot second. Not permanently, you never know. But for right now, I'm kind of chilling. But the bigger thing is everyone do what you need to do to stay healthy. If that is vaccinate, do that. If that is mask up, wash your hands, which you probably should be doing anyway. Mask up, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away, stay in your house, don't come out unless you absolutely have to. Do that. Whatever you need to do to stay safe. Just make sure you remember it's what you feel you need to do to stay safe. But everybody out there, please stay safe, stay healthy either way. You can't die on this because then we lose listeners. No, I'm kidding. Uh, but jokes aside, please, everyone stay healthy, stay safe. Do what you got to do that. And just remember that's your choice. Please don't pass judgment on anybody else doing something different. But so what symptoms did you have, man? Just I almost forgot what regular flu is like. Sad I gotta say regular flu. I almost forgot what regular flu is like.
I'd like to say first before I get that, my side. Like I said,
Mhm.
I've always said on this show, do what's best for you and make your decision. Don't make other people feel bad because they don't agree with you. And
Right.
my problem is, like you said, the forcing, freedom of choice. I know that's probably an illusion anyway, but we like to have it. So, but if you did take the jab, if you are taking the 5 million booster shots, and if you didn't take it, you should, like you said, take care of yourself. You should eat as best as you can. Try to exercise as best as you can, because everybody's situation is different. And take your vitamins, whether you took the jab or not, because it's amazing what your body would do to protect you when you take care of it, no matter if you have help or not. So everybody, like you said, stay safe. Because yes, we would hate to lose you guys, and people who don't watch the show, we would hate to lose y'all too. So we want everybody to succeed and eat and be happy. So yeah. And as far as my symptoms, uh, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. That was it.
Yeah, that's enough, man. Like you deal with that. I couldn't imagine dealing with that for 2 weeks, B. Like that's wild. Like
Man, I've lost weight.
wow, fam. That's
Like,
wild.
because I the only thing I could eat was some fruit and toast. I was on a toast and fruit diet and water and Gatorade for damn near 2 weeks. So these last couple of days, like I probably got better on Monday or Tuesday, and I started eating real food again. Man, I know I sound like a rich American, but damn, it felt good to eat food again, boy. Oh my god.
First world problems,
I
yo.
know,
Really?
I know I sound like a rich American, like even though I'm not,
Next, next you're gonna be going to iPick every movie. But anywho,
but nah, like all jokes aside, like I flu ain't no joke, man. I'm glad my body was able to naturally fight it all because I didn't get the flu shot either. But and I never
right.
had the flu before. And this is all assuming I didn't get a flu test, so I just got a COVID test. So I don't know if I had the flu or not, but I'm assuming it was. So and there's a lot of people getting sick, a lot. Like me just trying to get a test and see what's wrong with me took hours and hours and hours, and it wasn't just patient first; it was everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I'm noticing that. I'm noticing that.
so
I gotta get a COVID test. And right now I can't even get one until, unless I go to the ER or something. I didn't get mine scheduled until Wednesday.
oh
And it's
wow,
just the perfect storm. It's
so
the
every day.
holiday, the holiday lands on a weekend, all of that. So it's like, yeah, I can't even get a test till Wednesday. But
It's
like I
a,
said,
yeah,
most
just
importantly, I'm glad you're okay. Like that's always my first concern. I'm glad you're
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Um,
This wasn't gonna take me out. Oh, the great one's gonna have to do a little bit better than that. But nah. On jokes aside,
wow.
yeah, it is like you said, it's the perfect storm because you got the devastator thing now, and it is flu season, regular flu season. So you got a
Right.
combination of the both. It's like when you feel ill, everyone is going to the hospital. They're not taking
Pretty
no
yeah,
chances.
pretty much. Pretty
So,
much. Everybody's running to the hospital right now. And I'm like,
so it's
I
crazy
don't know.
right now. So yeah, just stay safe out there, people, man. Take it
Yeah.
from me.
Um, Shifting gears here, we do have a bit of good news to share. Unless, of course, you are Kim Potter or a friend or quote unquote backing the blue. Um, we have good news to share. And the good news is Kim Potter, who shot and killed Dante Wright, who stated she accidentally grabbed her gun instead of a taser. Um, I don't know, depending on who you talk to, that was really flimsy. I saw a lot of videotape and a lot of folks that actually qualify as experts saying there's no way you can mistake your gun for a taser. Um,
Which I agree.
I am human though, and the reality of the situation. if we go back to Amber Geiger, like I told you, when you factor in everything, working overtime, being distracted, not paying attention to where you're at, and everything being identical, there is a small argument to be made how she could get into the wrong house. You
No, it's not.
fast forward to this one. Okay. I mean, clearly the jury didn't think so either. So there's that,
Thank
you
you.
know.
Thank you, Jerry.
But in this instance, look, heat of the moment. We don't we I'm not a cop. You're not a cop. Heat of the moment, you don't, are you cognizant? I don't know how many hours. And that's the thing. I'd have to talk to a cop to know. I don't know how many hours training you get. But she legit yelled taser and grabbed the gun, right? So the question is, did she fabricate all that? Or was it legit a mistake? Now, just because, as the prosecution said, you made a mistake, but that mistake happened to be a crime. Um, 7 years maximum, 7 years max. And we'll see what happens. I think you said per the article you found, they're looking to extend that.
Yep.
But what I told you, when I texted you, I was like, I told you the dominoes are falling. We had Geiger, we had Chauvin, now we have this. It's 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 three drops of water. And I'm sure I can find a couple more high profile cases. It's three drops of water, but if you know anything about the environment and history, how many different structures were created by just a lot of different drops hitting the same spot, erosion, 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 erosion. So one drop don't seem to mean a whole lot. Understand that. Now we up to three. And now the climate is changing. Now,
No, it's not.
again, I think it is, because let's be serious here. If me and you were, let's remove the law enforcement piece of it, right? Per se. If me and you out doing dirt, right? We out being stick up kids for whatever reason, right? And then you get popped and you get 20 years. You think I'm gonna still keep sticking people up? Nah, I'm gonna find me a different way to get by. Because I know
You
if I
don't.
get popped, that's
You
20
don't.
years.
You don't have qualified immunity, and you don't have the world's most powerful union backing you up.
Well, she had so I don't know. I don't know what Minnesota's doing, but in spite of those two things, she going to jail.
For
And
manslaughter, not murder.
I mean, you could, legal the law, you couldn't prove murder.
It was
You
murder.
couldn't prove that she maliciously. I'm going, like, in a heat of the moment, you trying to say, you know what? I'm gonna shoot this dude. I'm gonna yell taser to try to cover it up, though. Like,
We don't know that.
that's pretty much what you're saying. And it's
You
like, you can't.
know, we don't know that. But like you said, experts said a gun and a taser feel completely different.
Right. And me and
You
you
should
standing
know.
here, if we're in our house and someone puts a gun and a taser on the table, and you have time and you're not stressed and you're not in the heat of the moment, you can obviously say, this is a gun. This is a taser. When you're in the heat of the moment and with a whole bunch of stuff popping off and your partner getting dragged by the car. Now, the problem from what I saw in prosecution, though, either way. All right, so you grabbed a gun instead of a taser. Here's the problem. If you see somebody driving off, you aren't supposed to hit them with a taser, no way.
That's what I'm
Because you could
saying.
actually, right. That's even if you did grab the taser,
What's that going
you
to
weren't
do?
supposed to use that nowhere.
It's not. What is that going to do?
It's going to do a lot. Because if you're trying to drive and you get hit with X amount of volts, yeah, and then you run the risk of causing more damage. Because I got somebody behind the wheel that's just got shocked. What reflex could happen? You put
Are
your
you gonna
foot hit that
crash?
gas, your foot hit that gas pedal, and you mow into other people.
Those people that did.
Um, yeah, and shifting gears slightly. Speaking of pigs making situations worse, I don't have the details. We will by next week, but
It's not looking good.
you
The beef.
have police opening fire in a department store and a bullet traveling through and killing a 14-year-old girl. I, I
To dispute a domestic or dispute or fight or whatever, who were unarmed. They were unarmed.
I just
So even like as cold as this sounds, and I'm not being sarcastic for once, even if there was a dude beating the hell out of a woman, that you you could have there was no reason to draw a gun, especially in the public.
that's when you do grab a taser.
You don't even have to do that. Grab him.
Yeah, you do. You gotta do
Grab
that.
him.
Depends
Because
on what he
there's
got.
no, let me explain. This happens in school all the fucking time. People are fighting. There's no taser, there's no gun. Guess who breaks it up? Teachers. What they
Those
do?
are
Grab.
those are children, sir. Those are children. And this
You
is
know,
what I was
there's
gonna say. I
people in high
don't.
school. I'm talking like high school and stuff. I'm not talking about like little ass kids. I'm talking about like high school where people now are a lot bigger. So
I mean, I give you that, but high school strength me versus strength me now. Oh, you'd much rather tangle with high school me.
that's
That's what I'm
you.
saying.
That's you.
Like you'd much rather go to war with high school me. Me now, don't do that. It's not gonna end well.
It's not.
I'm a
It's not.
lot stronger now. That's
It's
what I'm
not.
like. I like
It's
my chances against a 17-year-old versus somebody that's 27. Just saying.
not saying you. It's not about changes. It's a couple of y'all cops. Break up a fight. Tackle them. Do something. What's all that training for?
Okay, so this is the part where that's why I said I didn't want to delve too deep because I don't know the details yet. I just want to touch on the fact that it is tragic because one detail I do know is this wasn't El Chapo. Okay.
I don't even think you should shoot him, but I mean that's just me.
I mean, dude is responsible for how much drugs? Okay, then. But
He had help, but all right, but good. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. I'm just
there
saying.
you go.
I'm
I'm
just
just saying,
saying.
like, no,
I'm
it's not like this. Some from what I did see, I didn't see that this was some dangerous, mass murdering felon
no.
that needed to get them things drawn on him. And I'm
He
like,
didn't. I said, like I said, the thing that because I thought that for them to do that in a public place like a mall, that the person was armed or something,
right, right.
or they were shooting or by the aim, and that's why you let off a couple rounds, and then unfortunately, rest in peace to her, a 14-year-old kid died. That's what I thought happened, but
Now,
now I'm seeing the dude was unarmed.
now, see, this is where, and I know how skeptical and pragmatic you are, but this is why I keep telling you, dominoes are falling. You know why Kim Porter's conviction is important? This reason here, because you had an officer um, discharge a weapon and kill someone accidentally, right?
He
They're
killed
going
two
to
people. I think the person that he meant to shoot had, I think, died too. I think. I don't know.
well, no. I'm just saying. Follow me on this one. Yeah, Kim Potter. Kim Potter, who shot someone that she meant to tase. Oops ain't gonna cut it. You got you looking at 7 years in the bank, and I get it. It's only 7 years. Listen, most of us ain't built for a week,
That's
and
true.
you were cop. So it ain't like 7 years ain't shit. That's 7 years. Ain't no 7 year stretch of time where you're gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. Like maybe 70 to 77. That's about it. But most folks ain't built for jail for a week, let alone
Yeah.
7 years, and you were ex-pit. Ooh. And just a hunch. I don't think they treat ex-cops real well. Just a hunch, just a
Probably
thought.
not.
So with her conviction, this is when we look at the LAPD and say, ooh, so you didn't accidentally, unnecessarily kill somebody. There's a precedent for that. The last cop that did it just got 7 years.
We're gonna
Now
see.
this one's gonna be this is gonna be different. Because believe it or not, you choose to believe it or choose not to believe it. She didn't mean to kill him. She meant to grab a taser. Right? Believe it or not,
Sure.
that's the story.
Sure.
Well, this cop put the blicky on purpose.
Yes.
Like on purpose. It wasn't no, I meant to grab a taser. You grabbed the blicky on purpose.
And yeah, accident murder.
So you got some explaining to do, Lucy. You got some explaining to do.
I said we'll see when more details come out. Because I'm
Yeah,
just going by what
I'm
I seen already, and from what I seen,
it's
the person
just
was unarmed.
dear America. And this is the reason, this is the bigger scope. right? Dear America, you've been fooled. You've been lied to. How do I know this? Statistics show you've been fooled and lied to. You believe in such racist concepts as law and order. You believe police keep you safe without even having to give you numbers. If
Never seen.
police kept you safe, why is it the areas with the least amount of police, affluent suburban neighborhoods,
Class.
are the safest, and places with the most police, any urban or low income, urban and low income environment are the
Class.
most dangerous. If police kept you safe,
Class.
oh yeah, you're giving away the answer, sir. But if like Memphis was most recently by per capita determined to be the most dangerous city in America. Shocking. The mayor of Baltimore is smiling somewhere. But anywho, um, Memphis is determined to be the most dangerous city in America. Shortly thereafter, Memphis rapper Young Dolph was murdered. Um, and I've seen some press clippings and things like that. That the answer that the mayor and some leaders have come up to is, we need more cops. We
Yeah, that
just saw in
makes sense.
two instances, Kim Potter and the LAPD, how more cops can make things worse. And I am just dumbfounded that no one seems to be able to make the very obvious connection that more cops don't make you safer, more job opportunity, more things to keep you from doing
Occupied, not
crime.
angry, not PTSD.
That's the answer. I'm
Yeah,
like, how do we keep missing that? Oh, wait, because politicians are going to politic and they want to get reelected and they're going to keep selling people the same bullshit line until people wake up and say, wait a minute, how is it we got 90 cops per block and people still get killed?
I don't know. Monsters, animals.
I just
Like I said, I don't know about you, but like I said, when I see a cop walk by, I clench my bag.
you
When I'm in the
stupid,
car
Charlie.
and they walk by, I lock my doors because I don't feel safe around them. I
I
don't. Like
just
I know it's a joke, but I'm being dead ass. I legit do not feel safe. It makes
I mean,
everything worse.
absolutely. It puts me on edge. It makes me more tense. It's like, and yeah, because again, the presence of more police doesn't make me feel safer. In fact, it makes me feel more in danger.
Exactly.
Donald Glover voice. This is America.
Ka-ka-ka.
So it's like I just really, my heart goes out to that young lady's family
Yes.
because my understanding was she was shopping for a quinceañera
Mm,
and she's not going to live to see it.
no.
And because of the bullshit laws that protect pigs, qualified immunity, they may or may not be compensated. Now, I don't know what California's stance on that is. Like I said, I don't have a lot of details. I do know cops opened fire in a public space and a 14-year-old was murdered. That's what I do know. And ain't a whole lot more detail you gonna tell me other than the perpetrator grabbed the 14-year-old and used her as a human shield. That's gonna have me justify what happened. But the thing is, that's not what happened. Bullet traveled through a dressing room and she was killed.
Yeah.
I,
Yes. I mean,
maybe going back into COVID lockdown ain't a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe we,
I
New York
mean,
word, New York voice. Maybe we all shouldn't be outside right now. Bing bong. Sorry.
no, we shouldn't because we're still in a pandemic. And two, yeah, everything's starting to feel a little normal because, like you said, we got school shootings coming back, we got the mass shootings
Oh
coming back,
wow,
we got
wow.
we got the pig killing people again. It's just
That's not normal, sir.
that
That's not
is
our.
normal.
That's not our normal.
That is our normal, bruh. Go back to our old episodes. We got many talking about all the stuff I just said. That's normal, and that's the scary part. That's what we think normal is. We just
Right,
accept the shit, not try
right.
to make a solution, an obvious solution. We just, well, it's fucked up, but I mean, This is how it is. This is what we do here.
That shouldn't be our normal. Like,
There's a lot of things that shouldn't be, but we just, you know what I'm saying?
and
Being
I'm just like,
comfortable.
I don't at this point in the information era, I don't know which is more concerning, the issue itself or the fact that the answer in a lot of instances seems so obvious. Like classic example, we're not even going, not even from an extreme standpoint. A lot of government politicians, who else? A lot of politicians having it on, bitching and moaning about a $15 an hour minimum wage. Fam, we do the math. $15 minimum wage, you still can't live off that.
No.
You still might need a roommate off that.
Yeah.
And people salty about get like, I don't want burger flippers to. Maybe you should. Maybe you
Make your own damn burger. Damn.
the job discrimination. I'm not using the right phrase, but I think you get what I'm saying. The elitism that comes with employment. Well, I do this, so I deserve to make more than you guys flipping burgers. I do this, so I deserve to make more than the guys at Walmart. Hey, quick question. When the world came this close to falling apart, right? In 2020, when the world came that close to falling apart, who saved us? The Walmart worker, the little guys who sucked it up and went back to work in the middle of a pandemic because we couldn't get fucking bread. But don't you dare pay them $15 an hour. Because if they're worth $15 an hour, what am I worth? You're missing the point, you moron. And like I said,
yeah, if you work a job, you should be able to live off. That's my thing. I don't really care how much. It should be enough to survive. I'm not
I'm gonna
saying you
let you
gotta
on.
make a mansion and all that, but you should be able to survive. If you work for something, you get a paycheck. You should be able to survive all that, no matter what it is.
I mean,
That's
I'm gonna let you on a little secret. You just touched on it. That's exactly what minimum wage was supposed to be. The
agreed.
minimum amount you can make to survive. You're not gonna push the brand new 2022 something.
No,
You're not gonna push that. You
no.
probably gonna have to get, the
98
'09
Civic.
Accord. You
Yeah,
know, yeah, right. You gotta get the '09 Accord,
yeah.
but you won't starve,
Nope.
right? Whatever else you do to compromise that, that's on you. You go have a kid by somebody that ain't gonna be to support. You're not working as a team. You've just effectively created your own problem, right? That's
Sure.
on you. But all by itself, minimum wage is supposed to be the minimum amount you can make and survive. And at this point, everything I've seen, I'd love to quote your article, but I've seen a couple of things. If minimum wage were commensurate with inflation, minimum wage should be somewhere to the tune of $24 an hour. The American dream we were sold is now a lie. The watermark
Now,
for it, oh, it definitely is now.
no, I'm
Because
saying
remember, the American dream was the American dream, quote unquote, was to, you start out, you go to college, you get your little job, you pay your rent, but you should have enough to save for a house. The magic number, I think, in like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, the magic number was $1,000. $1,000 pretty much kind of what you had to pay to not be in the hood. That number's going up by 300 to 400, depending on where you are. I cannot tell you the amount of people I know who did it right, who went to school, got their degree, and make a what I would consider a decent sum of money, and is still just kind of squeaking by enough to pay bills and put a little bit in savings. Because student loan debt is a major Timberland in ass. So again, quick math. If it now costs you $1,300, $1,400 for one bedroom to not live in the hood, there's $1,300. If you have a $300 to $400 student loan payment, there's $1,700. You $1,700 in the hole to start the month off. Now, what if you got a car note? That's another 300. You $2,000 right there. Right there, that's $2,000.
food, car insurance.
Right. We didn't even touch food. You gotta eat, right? You gotta have car insurance, unless you're gonna ride dirty, which is gonna bite you in the ass eventually.
Yeah, but car insurance is a scam. but that's another story. But yeah, yeah, that food.
So I'm just bugging like cats is tripping on 15 an hour. Like 15 an hour is like cramping
Fine.
your style.
It's not. It's just you like you said, you won't even be able to live off that. Not comfortably.
Yeah, 15 an hour is like you still gonna need a side hustle. Put it that way. If
Yeah,
you make 15 an hour, unless you got a roommate or some or teammate of some sort, you still need a side hustle.
yeah.
Because the idea of minimum wage is to not need a side hustle. If you want a side hustle, cool. I know cats
Yeah.
who need side hustles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's not what it is. That's not what it should be. But I forgot how we landed here, sir. But yeah, it's we were talking about crime and so on and so forth. But yeah, if you wanna change things, you don't add more cops to the equation. That makes matters worse.
Hey, you just add gasoline. Like, no, you put water on
Right? Let me put out this fire with a flamethrower.
it.
Right? Let me put out this fire with a flamethrower. That should do the trick.
Yeah, that should definitely do it. Yeah. Geniuses, man. Geniuses, man.
And I am not some kind of Rhodes scholar, but I read every now and again. I do that, right? And it's like every sociologist worth their degree will tell you there is a definite relationship between poverty and crime. The same way there is a relationship between unemployment and poverty and crime. So when these companies lay people off, but CEOs get golden parachutes, what do you think immediately happens? It makes the immediate neighborhood go into poverty, and the subsequent poverty makes people do crime. It's a very simple thing. So I'm trying to figure out if all of the issues are caused by economics, how does hiring cops help the economics that cause the issue?
To fit a quota and fill them jails. Because it's a cycle.
See, there you go.
Same way with this school and prison pipeline. Like
There you
everything is
go.
connected. Everything. Even if you believe it's not, it is. Somehow, some way.
That,
So
that honestly, it's one of the things. I know it might seem like it's out of left field, but it's one of the things that makes The Wire one of the greatest shows ever because it shows you how everything was connected. And it wasn't just this one thing. It was the drug gang connected to the cops, connected to the unions, connected to the politicians, connected to the papers. If you haven't watched The Wire, go watch The Wire. Old show. I don't know how well it aged because of the technology, but go watch The Wire. It surpasses the pagers and payphone era. Like that's the only thing now watching Wire is like, wow, payphones and pagers. But
that's crazy.
you're right though. Everything is connected. Everything is connected except these two things: cops, poverty. Unless it goes like you said, the connection there is let's fill these jails. There's a connection.
Yeah, that's the connection.
That's wild.
Like I said, this is a well-oiled machine, the Matrix. As well.
Well, I mean, you know what? No, let's do our great debaters first, and we'll get to the movie part in a minute because we talked about this earlier. It was a great conversation. So, Hove, Hovito, Jay Z, Jigga Man, um,
Mr. Ether.
finally finally addressed, verses. If you haven't, been paying attention, verses for all our overseas listeners who might not know, verses is a thing that came out during the pandemic from D Nice, former DJ for Boogie Down Productions, foundational group out of the Boogie Down Bronx, the birthplace of hip hop. Okay, before I go too far down the New York City rabbit hole. But verses was a way we all tuned in. It was one artist versus another artist, 20 selections from each just to see who was quote unquote better. No one kept score. The fun part was at the end of the night, the fans would keep score, say who quote unquote won. I But it was just your best 20 versus my best 20. So we are talking about established artists with a catalog. And essentially, if we're being honest, it's a popularity contest. It's about how many Billboard hits do you have and what was the impact. Now, I've taken verses, so from the standpoint, especially with hip hop, How did these songs affect or move the culture? How good were they? Is it a I remember where I was when that came out type moment? Things like that, right? People have devolved the conversation. Like I've seen some people when it was like we should be a Rakim by Rakim versus KRS-One. Rakim would be a horrible versus entry. He doesn't have a catalog. Like, granted, he is the godfather of flow. We don't have a catalog. Big Daddy Kane versus KRS is actually a much better fit. I say all that to say, um, Jigga Man finally addressed it and said, "Ain't nobody that can stay on that stage with me." And I, for one, having been outside when HOV first came out, watching him come out of Biggie's shadow after Biggie's untimely demise, to making the grownest of grown man rap albums ever, looking at his influence on the culture, I, he's right. There's it's not a matter to me anyway of if you're going to lose. It's a matter of how much you're going to lose by. Um, People keep saying, I keep seeing Lil Wayne's name pop up. It just lets me know, one, you're probably stand for the South. Two, you don't understand how verses work. Three, you're probably a prisoner of the moment right now. I'm sorry. The only group, only name out the South that can remotely even enter this conversation is Outkast. Outkast has now entered the chat. But other than that, not Ti, not Wayne, not Jeezy. This is where people personalize it and forget, like, just because it was a jam to you, Cats and Cali had no fucking idea it existed. Okay. So no, it doesn't count. Jay's hits spanned everywhere. Period, point blank. So my personal thought was the one person that could go hit for hit legit with Jay, Buster, hands down. It's easy. We can count the joints he has, the impact he's had, the influence on the culture. He's got classics dating back to when Jay first came out. I'm going Buster, but I still say that's the best chance of quote unquote winning. But anybody up against Jay, by and large, is going to get washed. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah. My answer is different. I'm choosing the Canadian cannoli.
Here we
If
go.
for any of y'all that don't know it, it's Mr. Canadian gangster himself, the GOAT. I ain't the GOAT, but
The Canadian goat, the
yeah,
Canadian goat for
well,
sure.
yeah, he the Canadian GOAT for sure, for sure.
If we
But
get an
yeah,
email from Charles Claire, we know why. But continue.
but yeah, because hit for hit, Drake can compete, and as much as I hate to admit it, Drake has had the hottest run and the longest run in hip hop history. So he has the impact. And since this is, you can kind of say, a young man's game, Drake is younger. He's been he's been around sooner, well, recently. So there's a lot of recency bias on this. So even though Jay has a lot of hits, that was back in the day. But most of the kids and the teenagers and people around my age and a little older, they all know who's hot now and who's been hot for the past decade, and that's Drake. So, like, yeah, I think I don't know if Drake will win, but
I'm gonna go no.
he could compete. I think he's the best one to compete. Like I said, I tried to think about him, but I was like, nah.
Definitely not him. Definitely
If
not
it
Nas.
was just based on impact and just lyrical ability, he could, but it's not. It's about hit verse hit, and like you said, a popularity contest. Even though if it is just popularity contest, most people ain't fucking with him anyway, including Jay. But it's popularity mixed with hit versus hit, and I don't think M has enough hits to touch Jay. But lyrically and everything else, if it was a battle, yet nobody's touching him. Um, Nas doesn't have enough hits. Uh, he has, like I said, he has the impact because you made two probably the best albums ever. Definitely one. So you got the impact.
Mhm.
And you beat Jay in the battle. But Other than that, he ain't got the hits. He ain't got the catalog. He's been around for a minute. He got the albums. It's
Oh,
just
yeah, well, he got the catalog, and a buddy of mine mentioned, King Disease 2 has got some bangers, but
it does. I agree, in my opinion, it does.
I
But
mean, to me, Jay is up 2-0 right off the top. No matter who you are, you ain't got an album in your catalog that you can sit next to Empire State of Mind and win. And no matter who you are, you ain't got nothing in your catalog unless you're a buster that you're gonna sit next to Brooklyn's Finest will win. It's a duet with Biggie for crying out loud. You ain't got that. You ain't got nothing like that in your catalog. But if Buster throws on Scenario, ooh, ooh, okay.
nah, I don't.
like and that's one of those. I was outside when Scenario came out. Scenario jump started Buster's career. Like, yeah. If you don't know nothing else from Scenario, we still all know powerful impact, boom from the cannon. Like it's legendary, it's classic. That might be the one thing he can pull out, sit next to Empire State of Mind, and maybe like, I don't know. Or sit next to Brooklyn's Finest, even like, I don't know. But I mean, anybody else, Jay is already up 2-0. It's like walking into the game down by 2 touchdowns. He walked into the game down by 2 touchdowns right there. And honestly, you might argue 3 touchdowns because you factor in Big Pimpin'. And again, the impact, the fact that it made UGK, introduced UGK to a whole new, broader audience, the impact of the song, yeah, you might be walking in down 3 touchdowns. Honestly, if we're being real, you might be walking in down 3 touchdowns.
I
And I
mean,
think a lot of people just go, well, does it have bars? Without the beat? No, you got to factor in all the things. When you factor in all the things, you don't stand a chance against Jay, unless you're one of the 2 aforementioned.
Drake has a chance. Wayne had a chance if you include mixtapes. M doesn't have a chance.
M doesn't have a chance because of his catalog. Shelly says so, our former guest. She made a good point. M's catalog didn't age well. You can't play most of those songs now. It's a different climate. You cannot have songs about, drugs and your mom's getting raped and
You can still play
M's catalog didn't age well. That's the problem.
You still bump My Name Is and all the cleaning my closet and
Bruh.
all that. I still
Mm,
do. I don't care. Like this, that
that's
was
you.
you gotta think about it. There was a different time back then, and
Exactly. And he got canceled.
you can say what you want back then. M did not care. Did not care.
Bitch, I'ma kill you. I ain't done this in the chorus. I ain't even drug you through the woods yet to paint the forest. You're not getting no. You're done, right? Cut off his mic. Cut off his mic. Like you're not. Yeah, M's catalog didn't age well. Half of his songs you ain't gonna get away with. So there's that. But yeah, only chance I think we got is Buster. I would say Drake. I'm not completely disagreeing with you. The problem is, like we talked about, Brooklyn dudes is grimy. They gonna be in the comment section like, yo, you don't write that though. That's the problem. You ain't write that though.
We don't know. Well, we kind of know, but
No, we don't.
He
We still
does.
don't.
I mean, he's been exposed by other rappers, but besides that, sorry, Meek. But besides that, what was I about to say? I mean, he writes for other people though.
And that's where the ghostwriter thing gets shaky. I don't know. I can't prove it, but
So
the
like,
fact that he's been linked to, but you see, Wayne got linked to a ghostwriter, so that's the wild part too.
but that the Wayne thing is hard because everyone has admitted he doesn't write. And I don't mean that he doesn't write because he has a ghostwriter. I mean he does what Jay does. Jay don't write.
Off the
It's just
dome.
off the top.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, it's hard to believe Wayne got a ghostwriter because he don't write either. So it's like, I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I think in the essence of what Versus is, there's no one I can say on that stage. If we start taking in other elements, yeah, because I mean, bar for bar, I'm taking Black Thought over damn near anybody, bar for bar. Damn near anybody. I don't care who you sit up there. because Black Thought gave us the single greatest instance of lyricism in known recorded history. So, bar for bar, I'm going there. You know, bar for, if we talking skills, I think J. Cole now enters the chat. Like,
Nah, I'm taking
treat,
Kendrick. I'm taking Kendrick over J. Cole, but go ahead.
ooh, I can't argue that point either. I'll take Kendrick. So it's like when you start changing and moving the goalposts, it's a different argument. But if we stay true to what I believe Versus has been, ain't nobody else got the hits. I ain't saying anybody else got 20 hits. I'm saying you got 20 hits with that kind of impact. Like I said, we take for granted Jay's greatness like LeBron's greatness. We don't believe you. You need more people. That is in the zeitgeist now, and we say it so much we forgot that is a bar in a diss song from Jay-Z. So it's like, yeah, I don't know too many other rappers' lyrics that penetrate the zeitgeist the way that Jay's have. Like we say all good, and we forget that was Hammer first of all things. I bet he wish he could have trademarked that. The first person like it's all good was Hammer. At least that made it pop. Had a whole corny ass song called "It's All Good," but yeah, So yeah, I don't think anybody can stand on stage with Jay for real. For real, I think like you said, Drake has a chance, but Brooklyn gonna eat him up in the comment section, and I think Buster can do it. I think Buster's the best hope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, our only hope. I gotta go Buster. All right, real quick, let's talk movies. You saw Spider-Man, I saw Spider-Man. I gave it a flat out 5. To me, it was just a great movie all around, up and down. The emotional heartstrings were there. It was so good, you almost forgot there was no great fight scenes. Think about it. When you think about the final battle, we were so, oh my God, all 3 Spider-Mans were there.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, we'll put in the comments. We'll put it in the description. We were so, oh my God, all 3 Spider-Mans were there. We overlooked the fact that the battle in Civil War was doper than that. The battle in the openings battle scene in Avengers 2 Age of Ultron was better than that.
No, go ahead.
You bugging, sir. No. You are bugging.
I thought you were going to say the ending of the first Avengers. Then I'm like, all right, maybe.
I mean, the ending of the first, but okay, so just real quick, I don't get too far off key. If the ending of the first Avengers, here's the thing. The opening battle scene in Avengers Age of Ultron is so dope, it will rank higher if not for the ending scene of the first Avengers. We forget just how amazing that first opening scene in Avengers 2 is. It is mad crazy with all of them going ape shit, and you still get to see Hulk just beat the shit out of people before he got pretty much neutered for Infinity War and Endgame. So yeah, that opening battle scene is dope as hell. You need to go back and rewatch that. But going back to where we started, we almost forget. It's so good, we forget that ending fight scene is not all that. It's good, but by Marvel standards, it's not great. Like it's almost it's barely, I'd say barely better than the final fight scene in Iron Man 2 against Whiplash.
No,
it's there.
No, Man, now you're just being disrespectful. Are you done? Is that your review?
Really, yo? As we finish this, we done? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you being disrespectful now, dog. Cut your mic off.
Bruh, the final fight scene was not all that.
But you compared the Iron Man 2 fight scene? Really?
I said it was better than Iron Man 2 fight scene.
Yeah, but you said like it's close. It wasn't close. Stop it. Like the fight scene.
Okay. Like I said, it's a great movie. And it's so good a movie. It made us forget that fight scene was meh. It was warm water, sir. It was warm water.
Did you finish or are you done?
I'm done. Go ahead. I still gave him 5 scoops.
Yeah, I agree. 5 scoops. Screamed like a girl when I saw Daredevil and
Oh my
and
gosh.
Toby uh, pop up on my screen. So I was like, I seen Andrew. I was like, all right, cool. I like Andrew. He was a good
Oh,
Spider-Man.
my theater lost their shit when Andrew showed up.
Uh, it was cool. Yeah, they did. And then when Toby came out,
Oh
OGs
my
was like,
god. Oh my gosh, dude.
ah, Toby,
Everybody lost their shit, yo.
that's my Spider-Man. Even though I like Tom, Tom is a great Spider-Man, actually.
Right.
So, well, all three of them are. It's just all of them had misses. Well, except for Tom. Tom's first movie, it was okay. It wasn't all that. But yeah, like I said, it's a great movie, great emotional tug.
Yeah.
And if you stayed at the end, as you should for all Marvel movies, you got to see a preview for the Doctor Strange. So that's gonna be the next thing I'm excited for. And Batman.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
But
because they've halted production on Black Panther too, so there's that.
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Hopefully they figure it out.
Hmm. But yeah, and then you've seen it. I'm starting it, and which is Matrix Revolution.
Resurrection.
Thank you, Matrix Resurrection. I'm about 20 minutes in, and the only reason I'm not completely confused is because I've seen the other three like 9,000 times. But I'm still stuck at like, what the hell's a modal? Like, I got to go look this up now. I'm not a computer geek. Like, I get the context, but it helped if I understood fully, like, what the hell is a modal? But, um, dude that's playing young, old, I don't know, Morpheus, he's funny as hell. Because he's Morpheus, but he's a smartass. So it's so far. You got the little go Neo, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? That's what we doing? Okay. So I'm right at that part, and I'm like, I'm a little confused. So I'm like, let me go. I'm gonna go read. I'm also kind of. I was also kind of tired when I was watching it, so I got to watch it when I'm alert. Apparently, you got to pay attention on this one.
You gotta pay attention. You gotta watch the whole movie because it brings everything together, including the last atrocious movie, Revolution. Oh my god! Like I
Mm,
said, in my opinion, I gave it like a 3.75 to a 4.
okay.
They did a better job explaining the story and making sense of what we saw in the trailer and how the last movie ended. Because I've
Mhm.
seen Revolution a million times, still didn't get what the hell was going on, but they did their best to explain what's going on and uh, why Neo looks like John Wick and why Trinity is back. So
Right.
um,
Oh, you didn't tell me this. I thought it was dope. The nod to the original, like Resurrection starts off like the original Matrix.
yeah,
So
I
I thought
told
that
you
was a dope.
they flashback and done a lot of stuff from the old movies.
Yeah, I thought it was dope to see that redone with today's technology.
So
Although I am disappointed so far with bullet time. Like, it was dope
it's
in the first
I,
Matrix when you shot at the agent, you got the whole this one is just like, okay, we're not gonna get the effect. It's just
I
whatever.
mean you will in the
I
future, but I mean I don't know what new they could have done. They already done bullet time. I don't think you can improve it that much. Um, Neo was basically using the goddamn force, like Star Wars. So it's
I was seeing that in the trailer. It's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Okay.
so he was basically using the force. I guess that's the only thing that's new is him using the force. But
Right.
other than that, I don't think there was much. You can't recreate the magic from the first and the second one. It's just impossible. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
impossible. It's not better than Reloaded. It's not.
I mean,
Not even
I
close.
think I put it to you like this. I don't know if you can or can't. I know you didn't. And one of the reasons there's two reasons why I'd be on everything. No Lawrence Fishburne, no Hugo Weaving. You left out the original. You left out the original Morpheus. You left out the original Agent Smith.
But
So
the new ones
you put yourself in a hole right there.
you did. But to be fair, the new guys did their job. I'm not disappointed by them.
Okay.
in my
Because
opinion.
I done seen a couple reviews where people are not happy. Like movie critics thought dude was a bootleg Morpheus.
I did
Not
too.
not fans, but like movie critics for real was like,
But
dude
if
is a
you
bootleg
but if
Morpheus.
you watch it, it's spoiler alert again. That's not technically the real Morpheus, but
Okay.
they explain it better than what I could. But I mean,
Okay.
like I said, if you want to see it, if you got HBO Max, watch on HBO Max. If you're done seeing the movies, go see it on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. So that's our welcome back. Quick running back recap. First and foremost, like I said, I'm glad you are healthy. Um, to that end, I want everyone to stay healthy out there. I don't care what your vaccination status is. I don't care about whatever your justifications are or not. I want you all healthy. Period. Point blank. I want you all here to be in our comment section and talk shit and tell us all the crazy things. Okay. There's that.
Yeah,
Um, Tim Potter. That's a W for the good guys. That's another a huge drop in the bucket in changing the course of what police can get away with. So enjoy them 7 years. Now, if she get probation and some time served, some nonsense, oh boy, that ain't gonna go over too well to people. That's not gonna go over to other people. But it's a victory for the folks that get harassed and killed by pigs. Um, no one stands a chance. No one's beating Jay-Z. I got the closest being 12-8, the closest being 12-8. And I really have to find somebody who's got 8 joints that can beat 8 of Jay-Z's. But in my mind, the closest anybody gonna come, 12-8. Period point blank. I got 12-8, and that's it. Um Spider-Man, good movie, actually great movie. Go see it if you haven't. Like I said, you'll forget that there's no major super epic battle scene. And last but not least, Matrix. I'm 20 minutes in. I'm not disappointed, but I'm not on fire. I'm waiting to see where this goes. And I think you went a little too tech computer nerdy in this instance. Like the original Matrix was a little tech computer nerdy, but you can still kind of follow along. But I'm still sitting here 20 minutes like, what the hell is a modal? But anywho, your recap, sir.
glad to be back. Glad to be relatively healthy. Um, Kim Potter. Um, Beggars can't be choosers, so I guess we'll take this as a win. But I still don't feel safe when they're around. Um, I still don't feel like if I was getting murked tomorrow by one of them that they'll be guilty. So I'll probably have to haunt their family for the rest of their life. But yeah. Uh, next, HOV. I got Drake. As the best shot, a puncher's chance. Like I said, this is Tyson in the '80s. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, everybody can be God. He's not a god. He can believe. So we'll see. Uh, Spider-Man, I gave that a 5. I like like I said, got excited to see the OGs. Got excited to see the Netflix Charlie Cox Daredevil. Can't wait to see what they do with him. Hopefully they
Mm-hmm.
bring back all the other Netflix characters except Iron Fist. So now I'm playing. Yeah. Matrix. Like I said, it's a pretty good movie. It wasn't bad. It was better than the last one, but it wasn't done touch reloaded. But they did the best that they could to um, make sense of everything. And there's a lot of great quotables from typical Matrix stuff. So it
That's what I'm
makes
looking
you.
forward to.
It's definitely gonna make you question everything, which you probably should be doing anyway. But it's gonna make it. It's gonna amplify it by 10. I was looking at my cat, like seeing if he was real. But yeah. Other than that, thank you, and have a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, any holiday you celebrate. Stay
Right.
safe out there. We love y'all.
All right. That's our show. We appreciate and love you all, as he said. Same bat time, same bat channel, barring anything crazy. Our last show of the year will be next week, as long as we record on our regular day. It's been one hell of a year. We went visual. We appreciate the support, but we'll do the official thank you for everything end of the year joint in a week. Other than that, On behalf of myself and Citizen Kane, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Yeah, I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah.